The Hauraki Big Show. Thanks to crave-worthy street food, freshly made with Reburger.
Welcome.
This is big.
To the Hauraki Big Show.
Really big.
With Jason Hoyte, Minogue and Keyzie.
Oh, g'day, you mad bastards. Great to have your company this glorious Monday afternoon, the 26th of May, 2025. And you, my friends, are listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Reburger.
Crave-worthy street food, freshly made with Reburger.
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 Keyzie.
What?
That's too many.
Too many, man. You're kind of... G'day, Mogey, you stallion. How's life?
Going pretty grousey, you mad dog, you sick son of a bee. A little bit gutted about where we sort of sit after that huge weekend of sport. You know what a diehard I am when it comes to the sport.
Absolutely, man.
There's a few things that really gutted me in there, so I'll be getting into that later in the show, maybe after 8 or 9.
Sure.
Very long show we're doing tonight. We're going all the way through till midnight.
How
so,
good, eh?
Yeah,
Really?
it's our first time.
I've been looking forward to it all weekend, actually. It's going to be fun. I brought my jammies in. I brought some snacks, some salads and stuff, and some cheeses. Speaking of which, g'day, Keyzie. How's life?
Hang on. Speaking of cheeses, is that what you're getting at?
I don't even know anymore, to be honest.
So those are your jammies
That's the
you're
kind
wearing.
of content we're going to be doing all the way through till midnight.
Guys,
yeah, totally.
I just worry that saying we're going to go through till midnight at the start of the show. I mean, I haven't been told about this.
Can you imagine how pumped people are going to be, man, when they find out?
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so many shows only go from 4 till 7. We're going to go from 4 till midnight every single day for the rest of the year. And you can take that to the bank.
Totally, man.
All right, okay, sick. Do we get paid extra or anything?
Paid? You're going to get a paid cut because the quality is going to go through the floor. All right?
Okay, I can't wait. That's a great
stuff.
idea.
All right.
Now, Keyzie, you came in a bit sleepy this afternoon. Big weekend, was it?
Saturday night was a big one. And as we went to in depth on the podcast outro, it was quite messy, just the way I conducted myself.
Yeah.
So today I'm a bit slow and sleepy, but the big show will power through till midnight.
Yeah,
And
totally.
it'll be great. Hoity J, though, man, you look great.
Thank you, man.
Freshly shaven.
Yeah, and the reason for that, again, my electric shaver...
It's done it again, has it?
It cut out halfway through shaving, and then it wouldn't charge again, so I had half a shaved face and the other half wasn't shaved. Well, not shaved fully, trimmed.
But if you want to know more about that, listen in between 10 and 11 tonight.
Yeah.
I'll
Is
go
that the
into that in
shaver
depth.
hour?
Yeah, it's the shaving
yeah,
hour.
that's the sort of the moisturising hour and the shaving and all our sort of routines at home.
Oh, cool. Okay. That sounds great.
It is going to be great. In the meantime, here's REM.
Big show ahead, by the way. If you need anything, give us a text on 3483. Get yourself in the draw for a $50 Reburger voucher.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Sublime there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this gloomy Monday afternoon, the time 4:12.
Fellas, I got... it was an embarrassing situation yesterday at the Christchurch airport. I got cussed out loudly in front of 50 people.
Right.
I was checked in my luggage. However, it has golf clubs in it, so it's long, so it has to go to oversize. You know?
I can see where she's coming from already.
So I have to wheel it down to the oversized counter. So I'm walking this way, all right, and all the counters are on my left side, and I'm making my way downtown with my clubs there. They're all on the left side. About 20 metres away is the oversized place where you drop the bag off. As I get to the oversized, there's no one there in line, and keep in mind that I am deathly hungover.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got tunnel vision
Absolutely
on.
reeking.
Yeah, I'm reeking tunnel vision.
Anxiety, sweat pouring out of you.
I don't get anxiety. I got a massive headache. I'm tired and I
Yeah.
can't see properly. And I'm dragging my golf clubs along there. And then I get to the counter and there's no one there, so I'm just waiting for someone to come serve me. And then I just hear this, yeah, you can go in front of me. And then I'm just like, oh, God, someone's getting cussed out over there. Yeah, bro, you can go in front of me, no worries. Yeah, go in front of me. Go on, jump in front of me. All good. And I turn around to see who's getting cussed out. And is a powerful wahine toa with a baby on a front pack and a trolley full of stuff.
Yeah.
And she's yelling at me whilst wearing skull candies, so her voice is even more elevated. And I wanted to somehow just explain to her that I was hungover and didn't see her there. And to be honest, if she was at the counter, I wouldn't have pushed in. We obviously arrived at the same time.
Sure.
And I went to try and say something to her. I mouthed sorry first. And she goes, I can't hear you, bro. I got headphones on, but you go right ahead. And I was just like, oh, God, if I don't let her in front of me, she's going to yell at me for quite a while here.
Yeah.
I cannot be bothered with it. And so I was like, moved my clubs and gestured to go right here. She's like, oh, thank you very much. Walked up to the counter, and then I looked around, and there was just big groups of people in line to check in, all looking at me, all cracking up laughing. 50 people.
Oh, man.
And so instantly I was like, shit, okay, I got to get these guys on side here. And so I did the old far out, like without making any noise because I didn't want her to turn around and give me a hiding.
Yeah.
But just like, whoo, rolled the old eyes there and everyone cracked up laughing. And then my wife came over and was just like, what's everyone laughing at? What's going on? And I was like, that lady just yelled at me in front of everyone. She's like, what did she say? Then I noticed the lady pause her headphones so she could listen. And I was like, oh, no, it's all good. She's like, no, what did she say? What happened? And I'm like, can you just wait until we're not next to the lady? But that was probably the first time in a long time my face was a red hot flush. Like I was embarrassed, man.
Sure, like you had a fever. What I love about it as well, fellas, is the fact that you were checking in golf clubs, which just would have added an extra edge, exacerbated, if you will, the situation. And here's this dude pushing in front of a woman holding a baby with his golf clubs is just beautiful, Keyzie.
I wanted to explain to her, I was like, sorry, sis, man, I didn't see you there and I'm so hungover, I don't, go for it. It's all good. But the whole, I can't hear you, I'm wearing headphones.
That's funny.
That was awesome.
That's good stuff. I'm going to get my point across and I'm not interested in yours.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but feel free to air it. What made her a powerful Wahine tour?
She reminded me of my mum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
100%. And I was like, well, when my mum gets fired up like that, there's no point even trying.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
And also, I didn't know she was pregnant and had a baby and had a trolley full of stuff, whereas I did have golf clubs. So she was 100% in the right.
Well,
no, she wasn't. I got there first.
Yeah,
but I just couldn't be bothered with it.
Yeah, no, you did the right thing, man.
Yeah.
I would have stood my ground.
You're a backbone, Jase.
Thanks, man. Here's Everclear.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
The cars there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. The time is 23 minutes past 4 o'clock. Just a reminder, by the way, always you can get in contact with us on 3483. Call us on 0800 Hauraki.
And I'd just like to say
I got a burn there.
R.I.P. to Hoodie Joe, who's just choked on his own bullshit, I think, from what I could tell.
Actually, someone here on 3483 at the news that we are apparently going through till midnight every night from now on. I think if I have to listen to Jase talk until 12, I will go find a bridge somewhere.
Wow.
So, not everyone is receptive to the idea of us going through till midnight.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Well, that's the thing, man. People get used to it.
I find that a very hurtful
It's
comment.
a horrible thing to say to someone, isn't it?
I mean, I might have had a terrible day today, and that's just made it worse for me.
Exactly right. Well,
You know what
Jase
I mean?
has actually got tears
You're
streaming out of
crying.
his eyes at the moment.
You know what it is?
If you're going to take your head off and show it to the cameras, because we'll make a clip for Instagram,
You know
it'll
what
be
it is,
hilarious.
fellas? It's that I was chewing on some Nicorette, and it's got quite a sharp, tangy
It does.
kind of nicotine effect. And when it hits the back of the throat at the wrong time, it sets me off.
Can I say it's a foul chewing gum? It's the foulest chewing gum I've ever been involved with.
I don't mind it, but anyway.
Anywho, hey fellas, I found myself hosting a dinner party on the weekend, which was a good time. It was my wife, that's one person, her two sisters,
Yes.
and one of her sisters' two friends, and just old Mogey. Old Mogey there. And I was trying to get some other people over there, not necessarily men, but preferably friends of mine as well, just to balance things out a little bit.
Sure.
So it was 5 females and Mogey.
5 females plus my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
And old Mogey. And so it turned up, and the other thing was that they hadn't seen each other for a long time. So the energy was really high.
Sure.
Early on. A lot of chat. And it's amazing because what I noticed, I don't think I've been involved in something like that for a while where I haven't left, because normally you just leave and go do something else. But I was there, and it's incredible because they, and this is just my example, it's my experience, and I don't want anybody texting and raining on my experience. But they can all talk at the same time and listen to each other at the same time.
Wow, so 6 different convos.
Same conversation, everybody making their own points within the conversation,
Right.
and then everybody's taking it on board at exactly the same time, and then something out of what one of the people is saying will appeal to the group, and then they'll stop and they'll focus on that one thing.
Wow.
It was a sight to behold.
Was there lots of sort of, oh my God, I know,
Yes, there was a lot of that. There was,
Yeah.
And it was a great thing, and it sort of allowed me. What was good about it was, and my wife pointed it out to me at the same time as I was having the same thought, was I was completely surplus to requirements.
Yes,
absolutely nobody was interested in me being there or in my opinion or asked me any questions about who I was as a person because I didn't know half of them. Nobody gave a shit about me at all, which was good.
Really? I thought you would have struggled with that.
Well, no, what I loved about it was I could go outside and smoke a dart.
Yeah.
Whenever I wanted.
Right.
Which I did. And so that was really good. And I knew I just sort of had to enjoy it, which I did, and just wait for it to sort of level out. And I thought once I got to the dinner party side of things, maybe I'd be able to have a bit of a chit-chat then, which I did. It sort of leveled out a bit. But, yeah, it was incredible to... I thought to myself, this is what it must be like for women to have to listen to large groups of men just banging on. Except it must happen more often, I think. They'd probably have to listen to men banging on more than we have to listen to them.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone listening to this show right now is listening to men bang on.
But
That's
it's
right.
like...
But I think men they've got the shed. So the men would, if there's a group like that, I'm out to the shed.
Sure.
And not trying to participate.
And men tend to be more sort of, oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
And then,
Did you...
oh, yeah, good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Man, you obviously hang out with large groups of dudes all the time, Jase.
Want another durry?
Yeah, but it was an experience.
Did you ask, because I know whenever you have a dinner party or a group of people, you always go, oh, have you seen Wellington Paranormal?
I did. I sort of came out and I did a whole bunch of, different scenes and things because one of the people there was familiar with some of the things that I'd done. The other person said, I've got no idea why you're famous. And I was like, really? Are you kidding me? So I did some Wellington Paranormal stuff.
Yeah,
a few scenes from Talkback. A couple of I showed them some reels from the Big Show.
Oh, wow, that's great.
An ad I did for Harcourts in 2008.
Did you hand out any Reburger vouchers?
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Beastie Boys there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. It's fair old pissing down here in Auckland City. Now listen, there was a bit of league action over the weekend. With that in mind, we've got ex-Warrior and legend himself, the one and only Charlie GUBB. Charlie, you mad bastard, another tight encounter. How big the loss of Barnett in this game?
Yeah, that probably, I think Barnett and Fisher Harris would have been a different game, but it was a close encounter, and sometimes you don't come away with a W.
Absolutely, Charlie. And this is the thing, right? We've won so many of these little arm wrestle games throughout the season. However, the Raiders are a different can of worms altogether. They are now second on the ladder. We are third. Got the same amount of points, but their points differential is better than us. They are a real deal premiership contender, and they still only managed to beat us by 6 with 2 of our, leaders and best players out. Still feeling positive after that one?
Yeah, definitely. I think the conditions suited the Raiders too. They played what me and Mogey call smash mouth footy, just straight through the middle. But,
he always does that.
They pretty much outmuscled us. I reckon we had a red hot crack, but Raiders were the better team on the day, and we did have our opportunities at the end. We had a lot of 6 against on their try lines and stuff like that, but it just kind of looked like the boys were trying to go wide. They were taking it in to go wide, where it was quite slippery, and
it was.
Their outside backs just seemed to have our number.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it, Charlie? You mad dog. They're trying to go around instead of going through, and sort of what we seem to be lacking is there's none of the lead runners, which had served us so well. There's sort of any sort of plays like that, and what's happening is we are getting dozens upon dozens of tackles in the opposition red zone, 20 metres zone, and we just seem to have no idea about setting up plays so that we can get over the line outside of just getting our way through the tackles until we kick the ball and hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, like it was a low-scoring game. Even the Raiders only got a couple of tries. what seemed to be working anyway from my couch was when people were poking their nose through and getting a late offload.
Yes.
That was the way to break down the D on both sides. But you're right, it's been hard for our halves to put a strong ball carrier on a weak shoulder, like they've kind of just, like we said, been taking it to the line and playing out back, and then even when we did pass it to the winger, it was the wrong option because his only option is to score a try or get tackled out.
Yeah.
And they were man on defense, so we were just getting tackled out. It was we didn't really change it up, but at the same time, it could have gone either way. Like if we scored at the end and then won the game, it's a different conversation, even though we played the same. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Well, at one point, Maratanu Korea was inches away from scoring, and we would have been up 16-10. So, or at least have drawn level. Can't remember what the scores were at that point.
Charlie, I can't help but think, when we're pressing on the line there, the old Charlie GUBB special with you lining up about 50 metres out, mate, and just hitting the ball at pace will steam your concrete block. That's what they need, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I think I scored one try in my career. That was on a rainy night when our backs were against the wall, brother.
Yeah, man. Just smash into them, Charlie. Go forward, boy.
Yeah, well, the great thing about it is, that is a tight loss. It was pouring down with rain. Historically, we've been getting absolutely belted when it's raining. This year, we seem to have come good. So these guys, we played against a top 2 team. We could easily have won it. And so what that says to me is, geez, man, we're looking all goods this year, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think anyone's coming away from that saying, we played our best footy and lost to a better team. Raiders were better on the night, but, not many people played their best game. Their best game.
Tapini, eh?
It's pretty. Oh, mate.
Do you want to smack him over?
That was good. That was good from Tapini.
That was lovely.
Gave our young forwards a bit of a lesson.
He did.
He put a bit of
the old shoulder to the head.
Yeah, put a bit of shit in, and the boys kind of went quiet, but they'll learn from it and come back twice as hard.
I have never seen that guy Clark before.
Aaron Clark, are you serious?
Who's been man of the match every single week this year. Yeah.
Well, that's my first time I watched a game, to be honest. But, geez, he impressed me, fellas. He looks a good player.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's really good, Jase. Yeah, I'd never heard of him either. Charlie, speaking of Aaron Clark, who is your Porter King player of the round, man?
Man, I felt like giving it to Tapini, but it's got to go to a Warrior.
Yeah.
So I really want to get Pugs on the line, and he can choose.
Pugs, come through, man. You got to come choose the Porter King player of the round. Hurry up!
Take your time, man.
He's doing the I don't know anything about rugby league.
We've got all night here. Pugs, good on you.
What do you reckon, man? Just say a name that you know from rugby league.
Why are you doing this to me, Charlie?
Because, man, you don't get the recognition you deserve.
Yeah,
it's very kind of you to say.
Yeah, he's been thinking the same thing, actually, judging by his behaviour around the studios of lately.
Okay. Mogey was bagging Metcalf, so I'm going to go Metcalf.
Yeah, that's good.
You like that?
Dang, yeah, that's good, man.
You like
that's
that?
Good from you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
He had a shocker.
Good stuff. I know he did it. Thank you very much, Charlie GUBB. Thank you very much, Pug Son. And don't forget, if you're in the Wellington area and you need to do poos, hit up Porter King. They are the Portaloo specialists.
Good stuff, Charlie, your backbone.
God, he's a backbone, isn't he?
Isn't he a legend?
Yeah.
Here's the red hot chili peppers.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Radio Head there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. Let's talk TV. What's on the telly with Mike Minogue?
Yes. Over the weekend, fellas, there and been reading. Well, I haven't been actually because I'm not home in time because I work late because I'm a backbone. But my wife's been reading the Roald Dahl book Matilda.
Great book.
To my daughter. And that got finished last week. So yesterday, put on the movie.
Directed by Danny DeVito.
Starring Danny DeVito, certainly, yeah. I don't think I've seen it before.
It's really
great. Yeah. And it's Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman, his real-life wife, or real-life wife at the time, playing the parents.
Oh, they're horrible.
They're horrible, aren't they? Yeah, to little Matilda there. And I don't know if it was any good because that was on in the lounge, but I was getting over a hangover in the bedroom. So technically it was on the telly, but also technically I didn't watch any of it.
My wife and I watched, within the last year, Matilda one night.
Right.
I really want to watch Matilda again.
Right.
Because it was like one of her childhood movies.
Yeah.
It still holds up. The Trunchbull is still really scary. Miss Honey's still really lovely.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that Danny DeVito was the reason that movie even happened. He like vouched for it. I think directed it, starred in it, and even partially funded it. So it's pretty amazing.
And it probably made hundreds of millions of dollars because it's a Roald Dahl book.
That's
what
right.
a classic scenario that is, by the way. The hungover parent in their room, and the
Does that ring a bell for you?
and the child watching something on the TV in the lounge there.
It's been a godsend.
What did I watch? I'm getting into my history documentaries at the moment.
Here we go.
So last night I was watching Stalingrad, which was World War II, of course, when Germany invaded Russia and tried to take Stalingrad, basically. And it was
Ill-fated.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
And just the suffering of people and the determination, the tactics. I'm fascinated by it, and I can't help but feel with all these great documentaries, if we had had that sort of stuff back when I was in the fifth form, I would have flown through history.
Oh, yeah, right.
Seriously, I would.
Do you? Everyone, I think, has like a level of history that they're interested in, if they're interested in history at all. So yours is, are you a World War II guy, are you?
Yeah, mostly World War II.
Because I'm an ancient history guy.
Sure, I don't mind a bit of ancient history either.
Oh, well,
I
no,
like
you're
the stuff that happened in my 20s.
Yeah.
ancient history.
You should make a doco about it.
That's a good idea, man.
Mogey in his 20s.
That's got a real ring to it. Mogey grad.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Yeah, welcome back, you massive backbones. Hope you're surviving your Monday afternoon. You are, in fact, listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Reburger.
Handcrafted burgers, loaded fries and gourmet eats that'll change the game.
Reburger.
Yeah, boy.
Reburger.
I tell you what, you fellas running Sunday hangovers yesterday, you must have been tempted for a bit of Reburger. Eh?
Yeah, well, I actually got some.
Oh, you did get some? Oh, good on you, Mogey.
And I tell you what, the only reason why I drank so much on Saturday night was because I knew that Reburger tastes even better with a hangover.
Yeah, true.
But you don't, just clarifying, you don't have to drink to have
Oh, you don't
No,
have to, but
no.
it helps.
Yeah.
Well, I
Tell
don't
you
know if
what,
we should-
a cold beersy with a bit of Reburger. So good.
Well, I actually prefer to have like one of the drinks that they have there.
Yeah, same. That's my preference.
That's my preference.
Losers.
By the way, Pugs has made a new Reburger sting. Do you guys want to hear it?
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Here we go.
I love the Big Show, and I love Reburger.
That's good.
It's Cartman.
Is it?
It's Cartman.
Go again?
All right, here we go.
I love the Big Show, and I love Reburger.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's
That's
not
Cartman.
coming.
You might say it is, but that doesn't mean it sounds like it. Go again?
I love the Big Show, and I love Reburger.
Yeah, definitely not.
Now listen up.
But still great.
Listen up, you massive backbones. The 4x100 relay is coming upon us. I think Wednesday morning it's going to happen.
Can you rephrase that? It's happening Wednesday, and this morning on the breakfast show, I was listening, and there was a huge revelation, and someone has done the dirty on the big show. Someone has committed treason.
Yeah, there's been a breach of trust. We've got a mole amongst us.
So after this, we'll be doing a big show witch hunt to figure out who did it and what happened, all right?
In the meantime, there's Rage Against the Machine.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Aerosmith there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. The time is 13 minutes past 5 o'clock. And this week is going to finally happen, fellas. Breakfast versus the Big Show in the 4x100 metre relay. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling great. Basically, the people in the office have been spending all this time trying to find a day and a time that lines up for everyone here, but also a track that's willing to host this terrible relay race.
This debacle.
So we've actually managed to land on the Millennium Institute or High Performance Sport or whatever it is. It's where all the Olympians train here in Auckland. So they've given up their track Wednesday. It will be happening mid-morning, and we'll be filling you in on how it all went on the drive show, which is exciting. However, this morning on the breakfast show, something happened, and I need you guys to hear this because I do believe that we have got a mole in the Big Show ranks.
Mole.
I have found the official times from the drive show's testing day the other day.
Oh, wow.
They tried to throw it out, And unfortunately, they were undone by the fact that no one ever empties the bins around here. So when I went to put a piece of paper in there, it overflowed. I've got the numbers here.
Oh, there are the numbers.
The official times that they ran. Pugs, 16.6.
Okay.
Keyzie, 13.7.
That's quick.
Mogey, 14.6.
Good pace.
Hoyte, 21.4.
Wow. We've always identified Hoyte as the weak link. We knew that.
No, I know. This is because our times were Lane was 14, I was 15, Zoe 16, and Ruta 18.
Yeah.
This is going to be very, very tight. It's just going to come down to how slow is Jason Hoyte.
Yeah. And batting changes.
So how do we feel about that, fellas?
Well, it is what it is. It doesn't change anything, really, does it? I mean, the times are out. That's a shame. Absolutely, it's a shame. But, you know, at the end of the day, you've still got to run the race, don't you? And we knew it was going to be tight.
Yeah, it is going to be tight. And it's going to be about whoever holds their nerve.
And the batten.
And the bat.
As Jeremy keeps banging on about.
He loves it, eh?
He does.
21 for old Hoity J, eh? Pretty slow.
21.7.
Well, it's not quick.
But nearly 22.
But that's the time that you ran. But I think you'll be better for the hit out.
Sure.
And, yeah.
Also, race day, right? You can find another
and
level.
I was wearing my jeans and I was wearing my...
Yeah, so 21.1 instead of 21.7.
And I had my slip-on shoes on.
And use the cigarette that you had stuck in
And I
your
had my
mouth
cigarette
was
in my
getting in
mouth
your
as
eyes.
well. And I wasn't going full pace, by the way, just quietly.
Are you open to running the race without the cigarette when we do the actual thing?
No.
Right.
Yeah. But glad to hear we haven't got a mole. It was just somebody chucked it in the bin. And
But the weird thing is, it was screwed up in the bin.
Sure.
The paper is still here in the studio with us. It's been screwed up. You can tell that it's been screwed up. So whoever went, I think it was Minogue, went to put the paper in the bin, saw a screwed up piece of paper and thought, I might read what's on this.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's totally
well,
weird.
there might have been a bit of the paper. There's obviously a bit of the paper shown. I mean, I'm prepared to overlook it.
Unless someone who knew what was on that paper was like, hey, by the way, you might want to check out what's on that piece of paper. Because I don't think Minogue's just the kind of guy that goes around unfolding random bits of paper.
I've seen him. He's often in the rubbish bins.
Yeah,
I've seen him in rubbish bins all over Auckland.
Yeah, totally, man.
Oh, really?
I feel slightly bad because, you know, I put it out on the chat that maybe esteemed Pugsan on Friday night because he's all chummy with everyone in the office there.
Yeah, him and Minogue are real tight.
You know, that he maybe let slip.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That was
him
my
and Minogue are birds of a feather.
Yeah, totally.
Peas in a pod, yeah, you're right. Oh, well, so...
I'm still not convinced that's not the case, by the way.
I think roughly if you add them up,
they're
faster than us by about 1 to 2 seconds. If you add those times up, potentially. So look, it's going to be bloody close. I think we're teeing up trying to have actual odds that people can bet on, which will be pretty exciting. And they're currently also, Jase, this will make you feel better. They're currently trying to suss St John's to be there as well on standby.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, no, they're not trying to. They will be there.
They legally have to.
And I think my wife rang them up directly and said, you will have someone from St John's on site with a defibrillator.
So I think we're actually going to need St John himself to bring you back from the dead.
Exactly.
Oh, this is Oasis.
Oh, it is Oasis.
It's not Wonderwall, though. Damn it.
Oh, bugger.
Of course, if you hear Wonderwall, give us a call straight away on 0800 Hauraki. You can win flights and accommodation and tickets to see these guys play in Sydney.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Pearl Jam there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon, the time 5:24. Let's have some sport chat.
It's a really good idea, actually, Jace. I can't find the sting.
Oh, come on, man.
Sorry about that.
Especially as he just screamed at me before we went in. Sport chat! And now he can't find the sting.
That was shocking.
Good one. Now, listen, fellas.
I nearly gave away another Oasis trip there.
Did you almost swear on air,
Holy
Jace?
hecker.
No.
There's a bit of banter there. Sports.
Sport.
Sport. Sport. Sport.
That's not how you do it, Pugs.
Sorry. I'm not meant for this kind of chat, man.
We've actually
There's someone I'm built for.
As you can hear, got Pugs in the studio with us. He's our soccer specialist. And
He is.
I tell you what, fellas, I watched Auckland FC versus Melbourne victory. They've been in a playoff to get the finals berth. Of course, they won the competition. Then what's it called when you
Premier.
win the Premier? And it's their first time.
They won
ever.
the what?
The Premiership.
Oh, there we go.
And
They were premiers.
It's the first time ever in the competition, so it's a phenomenal effort right off the bat. But what blew me away genuinely, because I haven't been watching it, is the crowd was magnificent, Pugs. And you were there, mate.
I was. The crowd was on, Jase. I wasn't in the port area, but holy moly, they were electric. They were covering the whole stadium with their sounds and their tunes, and flares were firing off, even though they specifically asked no flares. What a game. It was one of the most theatrical sporting events I've ever witnessed. Now, that's not saying a lot because I don't watch a lot of sport, but holy shit, were they dramatic.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were so many moments where we got so close. We had a goal that was disallowed, and everybody around me was absolutely fuming. They were robbed. Curses flying everywhere. It was
right.
It was a great time.
Effing and jeffing.
Heaps of effing and jeffing. There was one particular player that I actually really enjoyed watching. His name was Azani, and he played for the Victory. And he was just one of those dudes that you could tell had always been that way as a player, just real dramatic. Anytime he takes a tumble, he's hyping it up, and he's doing little sarcastic things to the crowd, shushing the crowd, and we're all loving it. I was loving it.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Just to sort of paint the picture too, it was a 2-game playoff to see who got into the final.
Yes.
We beat Victory over there
1-0.
So we were 1-0 up in aggregate.
And the away goal is worth twice as much.
Is it?
Yes, it is. So an away goal is worth more than a home goal. So had we had come back, the fact that they had scored 2 meant we really had a long road in front of us yesterday or was it Saturday night when they got up 2-0. So, and we had a goal disallowed as well, Pugson. Yeah. People would have been absolutely ropeable about that, were they?
They were absolutely ropeable, particularly the coaches as well. We were sitting pretty close to where the players were sitting, and at the end you could see, what's his name, Steve Corico? Is that it?
Corica.
Corica absolutely blowing up at some of the officials and stuff, and I believe one of the assistant coaches might have even got an instant red card or something for what was said there.
Being a league man myself, I cannot put up with the histrionics of soccer players. You tap them on the leg and they do the full dive, multiple roll across the ground, clutching their legs in agony. It's just ridiculous.
Especially as the game came to a close, because they were clock gobbling massively, and it went into overtime.
They were what, sorry?
Clock gobbling.
Clock gobbling.
That's when you gobble up the clock.
What I didn't like was that they didn't show that they had 7 minutes of overtime on the screen. I found that really frustrating.
Yeah.
It felt like the longest 7 minutes of my life.
Yeah, sure.
But can I just say, huge debut season from the Auckland FC.
Haven't they done well, Keyzie?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah. And I know everyone was so excited, riding this wave to the end, but...
And then they just shat the bed right at the end there, eh?
That's what you were saying.
I'm going to be honest with you, watching the game, they did seem jittery. They did seem like they weren't playing at their best. I watched the highlights, and they just didn't seem as fluent.
They had some laser focus at the start, there was heaps of control, and then it did feel like, particularly when that goal got disallowed, it did seem to slip more and more, and everything got more dramatic.
Can I just say, Pugson, you're wearing a turtleneck zip-up sweater today. Are you rocking some hickeys on your neck? What's the gut?
No,
I've never seen this top.
Yeah, it's a new jersey. I got it on the weekend. I got it on sale, Mogey. It's 100%.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Oh my God, you do. Covered in hickeys. Oh my God.
I was playing with the vacuum cleaner. And
Up next, by the way, Billy T. James Award winner Hoani Hotene coming in. So that's exciting. Good stuff, fellas.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
The Strokes there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. This is a treat, fellas. We've got the Billy T. James winner in the studio with us with the New Zealand International Comedy. Has it finished yet?
It's finished now.
It's done now, eh? Yeah, good. And that is Hoani Hotene. How are you mad bastard?
I'm doing good, bro. You mad bastard back.
Yeah, good stuff. You were saying you haven't had much sleep since your victory.
Bro, I kind of saved up all the partying for last night. I didn't really get on it while the fest was going on. I kind of wanted to wait till the end and then...
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's different, right? Because midway through the festival, I was at a party at the basement where... every comedian was there and they were all drunk, whereas you're a man of rules and structure. You took this seriously. You wanted the Billy T. James Award. Is that what I'm reading into this?
Yeah, name names, bro. Who are these?
No, I couldn't do it. All the ones you're picturing. But is that your approach to this? You were like, I really want to nail this thing?
Dude, I just had to do something to be like, I gotta take this seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, I wasn't really... because you can be a comedian and be a very lazy person. So I had to.
100%.
I think that's why most people take up comedy, isn't it? I mean, that's why me and my mates did it, because we were lazy and it seemed like an easy option.
Yeah, and you get to sleep until noon most times.
Or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Then get on the beersies, have a few durries, go on stage, make people chuckle a little bit, and then piss off again and get back on the beersies.
Hoani, how much had you been planning to, like, you know, was this your year to say, I'm finally going to have a crack, I actually really want to win that towel, or is that not something you think about?
I think this was the first year I could go for it, because
Yeah,
you
right.
had to have done like one show before.
Right,
And
okay.
this was, year number 2 for my solo show. So like, I don't know. I mean, not to be like too whatever about it. I did kind of think if I just go for it, the marketing will be good if I get nominated, and then and then you get nominated and you're like, oh, this is more serious than I thought it was going to be. You know
Yeah,
what I
right.
mean? Yeah.
And how did your show go this year?
Oh, it went great.
Well, obviously really well, because you won
Yeah.
you won the award.
Oh no, it was good. Yeah, it was nice, and also like, man, it's the first time I've had a lot of people kind of show up for shows as well. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, people talk about like building your own audience and everything like that, and this is kind of the first year I've actually felt like, oh, this is my audience. Like, I'm talking to them like they're friends. Like, we're
So they are familiar with you, and they've come to see you, and they want to see precisely what you do. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Oh man, and you can feel it too. Like the difference in excitement when people know who you are before you go on stage.
Yeah. Well, instead of you walking out and they go, oh, this guy.
Who's this loser?
This guy. Because what are the actual requirements for this? Is it you have to do is it an hour? It's got to be an hour show, or is it just that you're new, or is it like what are the actual things, the requirements that you have to meet in order to be nominated?
You know, it's pretty loose. Like they say, if you've done an hour in the Comedy Fest before, or like some equivalent, you know, if you've done a few years in Melbourne or something, then you can kind of go. They just want
Right.
people who are like up and coming but still somewhat established. Yeah.
Right, and so what's in terms of we've got comedian Hoani Hotene here with us, by the way. He just won the Billy T Award this year, which is very exciting. What was the difference looking back at last year's full hour-long show at the Comedy Fest, your first ever one, and then this one that won you the award? Like, is it worlds apart?
Nah, not worlds apart. I'd say it's like almost like a continuation, but this one is like, I don't know. When you're like doing it the first time, you got that young kind of like nervous energy. So yeah. And then this time doing the show, it was like I could just talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just relax into it.
Yeah.
Well, hold it there, Hoani, and we'll come back, because I want to know what you are going to do with the cash. I've got some investment ideas for you if you're interested.
All right, this feels like a lot of crypto coming my way.
That's all good, man.
He
It's
doesn't
all
know
G.
what crypto is. It's all good. Led Zeppelin. Tune.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Led Zeppelin there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. We've got Billy T Award winner Hoani Hotene. So you won some cash for this, eh?
A little bit of cash. Yeah,
How much,
yeah.
man?
5K.
Oh,
That's
hell
tax
yeah.
free as well, man. Just a word to the wise that you don't have to pay any tax on that.
That was, I don't want to sound too like whatever, but that was actually one of the first things I thought of. I was like, no tax on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. God, I tell you what, you say a little bit of cash. Back in my day, mate, 5K was a fortune. I mean, you can retire on that sort of stuff.
I just didn't want to sound. It's a lot of cash to me. You know
He's
what I mean?
rich, man. I'm getting rich vibes.
Yeah.
He's loaded. He
He's
doesn't care.
totally loaded.
Because Jase won the Billy T Award 26 years ago. There was no cash prize, and they didn't give him the towel either.
Really?
Which almost sounds like he didn't win it.
Oh, to be honest, I actually didn't know there was a cash prize until we were like well past nominated.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't until like one of the other guys was like, yeah, and you get a little bit of money. And I don't think any of us knew that. I
You
thought we
don't
just
do it
got
for
the
the
towel.
cash, do you? But it ends up being the best part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a massive bonus.
It really is.
Yeah. So what next for you, man? I mean,
What's next for Hoani?
This is obviously, you're obviously feeling pretty confident about your work anyway. You get this award. Any plans to go overseas? What's the story?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go to Edinburgh. With
nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, same show.
Wicked.
Some of the New Zealand stuff will be taken out, replaced with some other stuff. But yeah.
Have you ever done it over there before?
No.
Wow,
no,
that's
no.
huge.
Awesome.
Because I remember I bumped into Guy Williams at the airport like last year on the way to Magic Round, actually.
Right.
And he was on his way to Edinburgh last year. And then I said, what is that sort of, do you get paid? He's like, basically, you pay a lot of money to go over there and just have a shot at the big time. So it's not something you actually like you have to sink your own investment into that, right? You're not like trying to come away winning $5,000, for example.
No. I think the money I made from this is definitely going to be lost in Scotland.
Yeah,
you know what I
good.
mean? But yeah, because I reckon it's going to be hard. Like the book.
It is.
The time I've booked is literally, my show starts at midnight, finishes at 1 a.m.
Wow.
Good.
So
But people are so into it over there, right? It's like there's nothing else like it on the face of the earth in terms of how people get behind it. They go to dozens and dozens of shows. It sounds like you're going to have to drink over there, mate, because everybody does their show and then gets hammered for 12 hours and then sleeps and then does their show
and then
again.
does their show again.
Yeah. And
It's a really good way of doing it, man.
And how many shows do you do?
I think you do one every single day for, I think it's 26 days.
Oh, my God. That sounds like work, man.
It is the job.
I mean, that's
But the great
full
thing
on.
is, you know, if you haven't seen you might be doing it in a phone booth. Like the venue sizes really vary, don't they?
I think sold out for me is like 25 people.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
But that's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And also
intimate.
But there's been so many great success stories from Edinburgh, like the classic yarns about Jermaine and Brett from the Flight of the Conchords, an empty thing, and then by the end of it, it's full every night.
And then Rose Matafeo, of course, did it a few years ago.
Reece Darby as well.
And it ended up,
She won.
Yeah, so no pressure, man. But look what's possible if you go over there with a great show.
And on the other side of that coin, so many people have been over there and just sucked as well.
God, absolutely.
And lost lots of money, and it's just been a really miserable experience.
So, Hoani Hotene, where do you think you'll fit into that sort of that scale we've just put in front of you?
Bro, I think you guys had Flight of the Conchords and Rose Matafeo. That's a pretty
so you're
high
saying
bar.
you're as good as them. Geez, you're up yourself since you won the Billy T Award.
He's
man.
rich and he's cocky as well. I like him. I bloody like him. Well, honestly, good luck, Hoani, for your adventures overseas. Hope it goes well, man. And congratulations on taking home the Billy T Award for 2025.
Man, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable.
Great
job,
stuff, mate.
Great job.
Yeah, mate. That's what I'm talking about. Come on now. Yeah, boy. Get on there.
There we go.
You good thing.
Good stuff.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Nirvana there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. Now coming up after 6 o'clock, we've got a bit of Meet Paddy Nip 69 where the fellas give out their advice, don't we, fellas?
The fellas do,
Absolutely.
yeah, as in us, all of us.
Yeah, all of us.
And there is an email address, meetpaddynips69@gmail.com. You can reach out whenever you want, 100% anonymous. And as of the end of last week, we have now got Reburger vouchers to send out to those people that do inquire. So it's worth doing. If we read your advice piece on the radio, you'll get sent a $50 Reburger voucher.
Well, you know what it's like, fellas, when you're at school and sometimes people would be asked, too embarrassed to ask a question when they didn't understand something. You know? Because it'd be like, you were such a brain, Hoity J, and so you wouldn't ask the question.
Yeah.
This way you can be completely anonymous. You don't have to worry about being embarrassed or anything like that. Because we're straight up blokes. We've probably been through whatever it is you're suffering.
Unless it's stupid, in which case we'll drag you.
We'll definitely mock you heavily if that's the case.
Yeah, but that's on you, man. I mean, you reached out.
Stop asking
You know what I
dumb
mean?
questions.
Stop asking questions.
Exactly.
God.
Do I look like I'm wearing a pink shirt?
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike, and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Easy. Yeah, welcome back, you massive backbones. You're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Reburger.
Serving good times and good food. Dine in or take away at Reburger today.
Sure is, yum fellas. Now listen, on the podcast outro today, the warm up to the radio show. Was it relay chat from recollection?
There was a wee bit of relay chat, but it was mostly us banging on about being hungover and tired.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds about right.
So much so that Pugs has titled this little snippet, Moan.
So I had a very healthy, productive weekend, and I felt like shit today.
Oh, good. Oh, well, I feel like I've done the right thing.
It's like, what the hell, man? You do all the proper good things, and you still feel like
It's all
shit.
for nothing. I tell you what, I love a moan. Love having a
mate.
moan.
Same. If anyone could hear us, I'd hate
Now, exactly.
God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we were just whinging today, weren't we, fellas?
Yeah, man, it's a good listen, that one.
I mean, it is.
It is a good listen, actually. It was a good podcast, that one.
Yeah.
You guys banging on about how hungover you were and, Sunday was a write-off. I was in bed on my computer and spilt wine all over my computer and made a fool of myself and I got abused by a woman in the airport and I had tunnel vision and I don't have anxiety.
Jase,
I just had
Jase.
a headache and then my
Jase.
wife came along and she
Jase,
was like,
come on,
what
man.
did she say?
First of all, no one mentioned being in bed and having a laptop.
That's true.
And me with the woman who abused me in the airport, that was at the start of this radio show. It was complete. It's not even in the outro. People are going to tune in now thinking
it's
they're
not
getting
gonna be
that.
there.
And it's not even going to be there.
Damn it.
But if you do want to hear it, search Hauraki Big Show, wherever you
Yeah.
get your potties from. Comes out tonight at 7:30.
Get it in you.
In excess.
How good, eh?
Up next, G-Lane versus a coin, fellas.
Oh, that's right.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Soundgarden there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday evening. Now a bit of rugby action over the weekend. Let's talk to Mike Lane, shall we?
ACC head G-Lane versus a coin.
Yeah, that's when we get Mike Lane to come in, the greatest picker when it comes to gambling.
Oh, yeah.
Selections, and we put you up against a coin, don't we, when it comes to the Super Rugby competition this year. You use all of your knowledge, all of your gambling experience, and you pick a winner of every single game, every single round, and we put you up a coin, which is a 50-50 chance. Here we are, round 15. What a weekend, Lane. What do you say there, brother? First up, Satyrs versus the Landers, 15-12.
What turgid.
Yes, it was turgid.
I'm going to call it a turgid affair.
Right.
The Crusaders, they won't be happy with their performance going into the finals. But a win's a win. They did it. They did the job. Turgids at anything, and I believe both of us picked that.
And the Landers pretty unlucky, actually. They pushed the Hurricanes the week before. They pushed the Crusaders, but just can't top it off.
Very young team, Jase.
Yes, they'll be
very
good
young
next
team.
year, I reckon.
Yeah, they're a very young team. So
now you've got a loss coming up, I believe.
Well, hang on. So we
Let's
both
get to the loss.
We both picked the Crusaders.
Well, the coin and Lane did. It's got
Sorry.
nothing to do with us.
Yeah, it's not us,
Coin.
Keyzie.
yeah, no.
Come on, man.
Separate yourself from the coin. I know you're channeling yourself
It's
through
just
the coin.
we hang out so much with the coin that I feel like
That
he's
was
a
one
better
of the
guy.
He's a better guy.
Yeah.
He's a
better
great
guy.
fella. So it is currently 1-1 to Lane and
Yep.
the coin. Next game was the Reds hosted the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes won 31-27. Who did you choose?
Great game though.
Reds.
I chose the Reds purely are at home, and it could have gone either way. That was the game of the round for me.
Sounded like an instant classic is what they were talking
Yep.
about over the commentary
Well,
there.
they had a shocker last week. I told you they'd bounce back this
Yeah.
week,
He
and
did
they
tell
did.
you that, man.
They
You remember
did.
that?
Yeah, he's told me.
So we
Yep.
should replay that.
You
we'll get
can.
that for you on
You
Friday,
can.
man, of Jase telling you.
Okay, the coin's got me on that one, but I'll take that one.
2-1
I'll take
to
it.
the coin.
2-1 to
take
the
it.
coin.
You'll take it, all right.
Yeah.
Now, the coin, a bit wayward in this next one. It was the Chiefs hosting Moana Pacifica. The
Oh.
Chiefs scored 85 points to Moana Pacifica's 7.
Can you take us through that one, man? Because I watched the highlights of all of these games, but I couldn't quite work out what the problem was with Moana. I saw they had a yellow card at one stage, but
Yeah.
did they have 25 yellow cards, or what was the guts?
They just couldn't catch a break, and
Right.
every time the Chiefs had a break, they scored.
Yeah.
They just didn't let them back in the game. Every wheelie bin in Hamilton was safe, and they're going to have to come back this week strong if they're going to secure. They're going to have to beat the Canes.
I thought it was I just felt like it was a step too far for them this weekend. They've gone hard, and I just feel like they're just beginning to run out of gas.
Oh, I don't know if they ran out of gas, but Leroy Carter, how good. Hat-trick, same
Yeah.
with Sneakers Rachima. So here we go, 2-2.
Good stuff.
It is 2-2 to
Okay.
the coin and G-Lane. Final game of the round was the Force hosting the Waratahs, Force 17. Waratahs 22. Who did you choose?
I went the Force, because again, a
Home.
very close game. I just went for the home advantage, and obviously I was wrong. So the coin may have bent me over this
The
weekend.
coin knows his stuff, that's for sure, or hers, and has come out on top this round 3-2. But you're still maintaining a 10-win lead there, Lane,
unassailable.
38-28. As we move into the final round of the round robin, is it?
Yeah, final round, and then it goes into a very complicated finals playoff system, which I'll need at least half an hour to explain
They
to you.
know how to turn away a supporter, don't they?
Now, Lane, it's looking like the big race on Wednesday.
Is it?
Yes. Well, look,
Okay.
and we had our first training session, And we got the numbers down there. Interesting they were, but we've got a mole in the big show.
Yeah,
and
well-
somehow breakfast has got hold of the numbers.
Well, it doesn't help that you leave the piece of paper
Oh,
in
is
the
that what it
studio.
is?
No. Someone fished it out of the bin.
Let me just say,
Hoity J, Jesus Christ, 21 seconds did you walk it?
21 seconds.
That feels
Shit,
that feels
quick.
That feels way quicker.
It felt slower and when you were there. Yeah.
It should be interesting anyway, that's for
Just
sure.
quickly, G-Lane, are you as nervous as Hoity J is for this relay?
No, look, there's nothing to lose for me. Nothing
Yeah,
to lose, nothing
there
to
isn't.
gain. Because I'm not going to do the breakfast show, and I'm hell's not going to do the drive show.
And all I've got to lose is my life.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Pink Floyd there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday evening. Hey, incidentally, before we get into this chat, fellas, do you think it's okay to do wheeze in your garden?
In my garden?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you do wheeze in your garden?
No, I'm not an animal.
I only do wheeze in my garden if my wife is using the bathroom because we've only got a toilet is all in one bathroom. It's all together.
Right. Because you got a weak bladder or something. You can't hold on to it.
Well, sometimes I'll come home busting for a pee and someone will be in the toilet. And so I'll have
Who
to
is
go
it? Who's in the
outside.
toilet?
My wife.
Oh,
right.
so your wife will be in the toilet.
My wife will be in the
Yeah.
toilet.
Has there ever been anybody else?
Or having a shower.
So
No.
you won't do wheeze while your wife is having a shower?
Well, no, because, I mean, I could, but also I just think, man, what if I was having a shower and she came and did wheeze? Like a lot of couples would be fine with it or whatever. I'm just like, no, let's just,
You're
you know,
disgusted by that.
she's in there having a shower. I'll leave her to it and I'll go do wheeze.
You don't
outside.
mind ripping ass in front of each other.
Yeah, I mean...
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. I don't get fully naked and sit down on a toilet to rip ass.
You're so...
I mean, I can if
So
I
you
want.
get naked to go for a wee.
I do.
Wow, okay.
I get completely naked and go for a wee.
But do you leave your tennis shoes on? There's something hot about that.
Why tennis shoes?
Keyzie with his white tennis shoes.
Why
on.
tennis
Going for a wee.
Oh, that's interesting. I found out some stuff about you, Keyzie, I didn't know. Like you don't like doing wheeze in front of your wife and you don't like your wife doing wheeze in front of you.
But you love ripping ass.
But you love ripping ass.
Yeah, literally those three things sum me up. But
You
also,
see-
I don't think I'm weird in this regard, am I?
I don't rip ass, but I can do wheeze in front of my wife.
See, you've got it around the wrong way. Because if you set up an environment where you can just rip ass, then you don't have to go out and look at your tomatoes all the time like you do and then break wind outside. You can just do it. And like, how often do you need to go wheeze in front of your wife?
Quite often.
And it removes the desire to have sex with each other when you're ripping ass with each other. You know, it's good.
That's what I mean.
No, it doesn't for me, man. It does the opposite.
Right. So when you rip ass,
You're like, oh
you
my-
immediately follow it up with lovemaking.
My
Or
wife
if
goes,
your wife rips ass, you're like, oh my God, that
let's
is
go.
reeking. Let's go.
Honestly, every time I rip ass, my wife looks at me and she says, Chris, that smells like team spirit. Which is a promo we're running at the moment on Radio Hauraki, thanks to Super Liquor, where if you're running a team...
Super sniffer.
Yeah, it's real good, Mogey. If you're running a team or a club or anything, you can win $1,000 thanks to Super Liquor. We're giving it away every Friday.
Hey, and last Friday, of course, we gave it away to the Pottery Club. You recall?
In
fellas?
Ellesmere.
Ellesmere, a lovely lady there. Hopefully they're enjoying it as we speak.
And it's fun little story about that. Leaston, which is where it is, that's where my wife's family are all from. And I was staying with my wife's family over the weekend. And I said to her mum, oh, do you know, I think Liz from the Ellesmere Pottery Club? And she was like, no, but I bet my mum will know.
Right, okay.
And
do you rip ass when you're at the family house?
Oh, yeah.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Boy, I'll tell you what, fellas, that show's just whipped by.
Hasn't it, though?
It's been so fast, Mogey.
Yeah, it's been so quick.
Obviously, we're having a great time doing the show for it to go so quickly.
I can't believe it.
Sorry, fellas, I've accidentally fired off the end of show music. I just remembered we're going right through till midnight.
Yeah. But
Remember?
we'll be firing that off at the end of every hour in case people can only do it sort of an hour at a time.
Yeah.
Right, so we're
And
definitely...
the last hour of our show here that you've just heard, we'll replay that for the next 5 hours up until midnight.
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause
Except for that 1 hour that we were going to do some special content
Shaving
around
content.
shaving,
Yeah.
and moisturising, etc.
That's around 11 till 12, I think.
Well, it was 10
Hey,
to 11, but I'm just looking at the schedule here, and it looks like Greg Preble's logged in and ready to go.
Oh, well, he can do it today, but after that, that's it.
It's
Okay.
us.
It's us.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you learn today, Mogey?
I learned today that Keyzie loves getting cussed out by women at airports. and sort of ragdolled around the joint and made to look like a loser, and he just takes it. And I think that makes you a backbone, man.
I feel like you've added quite a lot of mustard to that story, but thanks, Mogey. Appreciate it, man.
But you got a little laugh out of it, didn't you? And if you want to know what I'm talking about, you have to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, it comes out at 7:30 tonight. Search Hauraki Big Show wherever you get your potties.
What did you learn, by the way, man?
Today I learned that Mogey doesn't do well in a room full of women.
No.
You know, because like they're all chatting and then he comes in like, oh, have you all seen Wellington Paranormal? And they're like, nah, and then one of them smacks him over and they all start kicking him and stuff.
That was out the gate. That's true.
So that's what I learned.
Horrible.
What did you learn, Jase?
Well, what did I learn today? I learned that it's all very well being a good boy and not indulging in your habits over the weekend, but that's a fool's errand. I mean, I feel terrible today, and I did all the good things, exercised, didn't really smoke, didn't drink over the weekend, did lots of productive stuff. What good did it do me today? None.
You look like you've got COVID.
You see? That's what I'm talking about. So what I've learned is you might as well just get on it.
Responsibly, yeah.
Responsibly,
100%.
you know what I mean? And then be
Good
done
stuff.
with it. Hey, now listen, good on you for listening to the show. Make sure you listen to the podcast. Make sure you check out the Instagram account. There's always something happening on that. And until tomorrow, we'll see you later.